It's really this one has got me a little bit obsessed. Well, you guys also had a podcast episode where you did Finsta Fridays. So I listened to that episode. You were talking about Finsta accounts, which do come up in the housewives
Uh-huh.
world all the time. I mean, I know you guys were talking about like Amy Poehler and all the SNL girls. Like what celebrity do you know of that just has the Finsta going and why? And I mean, are you guys in favor of Finstas?
I feel like
Oh,
Michael knows more of them than I do. I never find them.
what?
I only know they
Of the
exist in theory.
Finstas?
Yeah, I don't follow
Um,
anybody's Finstas. I'm
what?
never
Oh,
invited
no.
to.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And now I'm absolutely failing at this because I'm blanking. Who's the one whose Finsta is just like, oh, it's just like cookies. It's a food thing. Remember, Chef Amberell even
Lord
follows
with
them
her onion
too.
rings.
Yeah, you were.
Lord with her
Yes,
onion rings.
yes.
That was my favorite one.
That's true.
But it's Lord just shares pictures of onion rings, which I circle.
But
Um,
also the fact that we know about it makes it not a Finsta anymore.
Yeah.
but in a weird way, I still just love that.
I mean the housewives, like like I don't know, like do you watch Jersey? Are you watching Jersey this season?
I personally only watched like the first 3 seasons of Jersey, and then I was just like, they're too poor, they're too sad, it's too real. I can't. It's sad for them. I feel bad for all of them.
The same family
Um,
feuds are going on, but we hear about these Finstas and like this. I mean, the housewives have, I mean, Potomac too. They all like this one's this Finsta, and they
oh, you
just
have
are
to.
there and they attack the other one. I mean, are you guys pro Finsta or I mean, do you
I
have
am
Finstas?
pro Finsta as long as it's used to not harm, but rather to share. That is how a Finsta should be used. Like if you're so famous that you like wish you could have like an Instagram with just your close friends again and not use like the close friends feature to do so, have a Finsta. But if you're making a Finsta so you can like cyberbully somebody or like drag out some more drama, that's shady, that's petty. Get a job.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like my favorite Finsta community, like I talked about on the show, is the ladies from SNL, where it's like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Anna Gasteyer, like all of them that are friends that have Finsta accounts that they specifically use to like follow funny people or just like social media nonsense, and then they all share it in a big group chat. Like that to me is fun and adorable. But yeah, if you're going on just so you control other people, even if you're a famous person, like no.
I mean, I use it just not even to troll. I just there's certain people you just don't want them to know that you looked at their story. You're not trolling. You don't wish them any harm. You
Oh,
just
That's
need to
fair.
check
interesting.
out something over here. What's this person
Mm.
doing? I just don't want you to see that I was on your story today and that like
So
Oh,
it's
just
sort of
that's
like how
my
you go
opinion.
incognito.
Yeah, it's like no
Hmm.
trolling.
hmm
I don't follow anyone. It's I think like zero follow, maybe three followers, just so it looks a little strange. You just want to see what certain people are up to at different times. Even people in the housewives world, just anything. You just don't really. There's so many. You just. I use it to spy, I guess.
Okay, so you're
I
lurking
love
on the
that.
Finsta.
I mean,
I fully support this.
it's just like there's just. I'm like, I don't want you. Even if it's like someone you just don't want them to know that you looked at their story in that particular moment.
That's
Sometimes.
fair. I think that's fair. That's another
hmm
valid use. Another one that I came up with. If you have a slutty Finsta where you feel more comfortable
Well,
showing
yeah.
parts of your body that you wouldn't show on main, I support that too.
That's a whole nother world of the Finsta, right?
A
Oh,
whole
yeah.
another world.
A whole nother world, yes. I, Paris just loves to talk about holes, FYI. I'm surprised we've gone this long without that word coming up.
That's okay. Listen, we have no censorship here behind the velvet rope.
Great.
I
Mm,
mean,
we love
what are
that.
your guys' guilty pleasures? Like, do you have like certain TV shows or like are you obsessed with certain besides the Gwyneth Paltrow current social media trial that we're all watching play out?
I have
Uh,
recently developed a guilty pleasure.
mhm.
Yes.
And I famously try to never be guilty when I enjoy something because like it's fine. But this one new follow that I have taken across TikTok to Instagram, I do have a little bit of shame about. And let me find this person's username.
Tell
Essentially, it is
us.
a wildlife photographer from Australia who has the most beautiful face, body, and like the cutest smile and gap tooth. However, he is tragically straight, and yet I am still thirsting for him. And that is something I need to unpack for myself. It is something I'm ashamed of, but he is so damn fine. And just like, if you imagine what you would want a modern day Steve Irwin to look like and sound like, it's this man.
Mm.
And he knows exactly what he's doing. He's very slutty. Let me
Ooh.
find him.
He knows. I mean, Yeah, I mean, well, that's the other thing too about, you just between TikTok and Reels, it's like, where do all these gorgeous people, like, where were these people before? Right? Because, like, I don't know. And I understand, like, what is in your feed is what you click on the most. I get how it
Mhm.
works. But man, there's just so many beautiful people on Reels and social media and just,
Oh yeah.
Well, I think
I,
before they just weren't as hot, and now they've either gotten hot or gotten surgery to be hot, which is now everywhere.
Uh,
And like, listen, I'm sure they look at us and they're like, God, you all have so many followers for your great, creative, you're creating content. You just look at some of these people and you're like, I don't even understand what you're doing. Like, you should have 4 followers. Like, I know you're hot, but how is it
mhm.
that you have like literally like 900,000 followers? Like, I understand you're hot, but there's nothing to any of these pictures except just
You
Yeah.
you.
exactly. And there's so many hot people. You're like, why are you the one that has 900,000 and this other person who's equally hot and also just stands there with no shirt on has like 2,000 followers. Like what? Who knows?
And then
I
it's
love what you said though. I was gonna say I love what you said about the feed, like showing you what you normally want, like the algorithm just know you so well. And we were just talking about that with the congressional TikTok hearings and congressmen who were like, how come TikTok just shows me young women in bikinis? And it's
really.
like, I think you just revealed a little about yourself there, good sir. Uh,
Yeah.
if it was showing knitting videos, we
You've
would know what you
curated
like.
that for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, I found this straight man who I'm ashamed to follow, but like literally watch this. His name is Mitchell Burns. Look at this.
Oh, it's
Look at
him.
this man. He's always slightly wet. He's always showing a little skin. He has the perfect little gap tooth. He's so cute. I can't. And
And
I'm
I
ashamed of
We
mean,
it.
all know him.
look at what he's doing there. He's like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
phallic at its best.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that video went
Uh,
viral of him like rubbing that phallic looking flower and then
yeah.
squeezing out the juices and then rubbing them in his hair.
Yep.
Like he
And
knows
Uh-huh.
what
I
he's doing.
and
I've
I'm like
watched it millions of
always
times.
you've watched it a lot, and I'm like always okay with it until you start seeing like paid partnership, paid partnership, paid partner. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, like I get it. You're making money off this. And now I get it, but that's when you're like, I gotta think of something else over here behind the velvet
Yeah.
rope. So
Um,
that's your guilty. Okay, so that's not so bad. Are
um,
you yes?
oh, I was gonna say I was kind of excited to talk to you about mine because I recently just got hooked on Real Friends of WeHo, and
Mm,
I just finally watched
no
it
guilt
and
necessary.
binged the whole thing, and I don't feel guilty whatsoever. And I have to say I actually really
Good.
enjoyed it. Paris and I were talking about this
Do
already.
either of you live? I forgot where you guys live. Like, I split my time between New York and LA, so I'm in LA half the time.
I'm in LA.
And I used to live in LA. I used to work in WeHo.
So now you like it. I actually interviewed some people from it. I don't mind.